Welcome to the AI Automations for Business podcast. We're your hosts, Katie and Noel, and we'll be discussing how you can use AI for your business along with the latest news, updates, and automations to help you stay ahead of the curve, allowing you to grow and scale your business more efficiently. Please be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, welcome back to another episode. Hi, hello, I'm Katie, and as always, I have Noel here with me. How are you doing, Noel?
Yeah, doing great. Yeah, I've got lots to share this week.
When haven't you?
I know, yeah. Oh, it's ever evolving, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So what's new in the AI or automations world this week before we get into what we're going to talk about for this week's episode?
So I guess the big exciting thing was Google released Gemini 3.1 last week. So again, you know, on the old charts, it's sitting higher than everyone else, and you know they're kind of responding to Opus 4.6 as well as or what we're on now, GPT 5.3 from OpenAI. So yeah, they're kind of pushing the boundaries a bit, but for once, actually, this is kind of the first little build that Gemini have done. Usually they go in halves or full numbers. So yeah, this is the first little number that I can remember.
Okay.
But yeah, very capable.
What do you think that means then for Google and Gemini?
I guess it's just the arms race, isn't it? It's a bit like the space race in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of pushing each other, and they're like, well, if I don't keep up with that developer, then you know everyone's going to disappear over to them and not come to us. So yeah, you've kind of got to keep up with what's trending and what's good. So yeah,
I found though, once someone starts using like for example, a LLM, they stick to it rather than swap and change.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. A lot are kind of forced into it by where they work as well. So, like, you remember when we had Martin on the podcast last year from Make.com?
Yeah.
He was like, everything we do has got to be in Gemini.
Oh,
so,
yes.
so yeah, he made that very clear distinction, didn't he? But
yeah,
you know, so yeah, that kind of forces you down that route. But I guess for anyone that's like really into this industry, and you know, like myself and you, obviously, Katie, you know, we're kind of testing out a bit of all sorts, don't we?
Yeah.
So, and then settle where we're most comfortable. But
but the business owners that I know, they're very much like, well, I've learned how to use this particular LLM, and it is usually ChatGPT. I am now hearing a lot more people start to use Claude, but yeah, I would say most people like are using ChatGPT and then they're sticking with it. They're not actually moving around. I would like to know what the developers of like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, like think how people are going to be using it, or or they obviously have a lot more insight on how people are using it.
Yeah.
If people are using one, if people are using two, if people are using all three, and they're just jumping from one to the other for different things.
Yeah, I think the people that jump around are probably the people on paid plans, because obviously they're invested in it, aren't they? So
yeah,
if it starts not being, you know, as useful as it used to be, then yeah, they'll start shopping around to go somewhere else. Whereas I think if people are on a free plan and they're happy with it, they're just going to stick around. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I'd love to sit a fly on the wall in some of their tech meetings just to see what they're cooking up for the next few months, kind of thing, because they'll release features that like we haven't even thought of. You know, not even our wildest dreams, and then it'll arrive and we'll be like, yeah, I didn't know I needed it, but I do now.
Those meetings would be really interesting, just as well, see like how they come up with those ideals, and then bring them to life. That's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'd love to do that at Make as well.
Maybe you can ask if you can go and intern for them.
Yeah.
Bags, off you go.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
Yeah. I guess there is actually one update from Make.com actually that we've not talked about,
Mm.
and they released their new agent builder to the general public. I
Oh,
think it was 2 weeks ago now. So yeah, it's all built within like the scenario builder.
yeah.
So yeah, it's not kind of like its own standalone page, and then you've then got to build your scenario and attach it in and go somewhere else to edit it. It's all on one page, which is really, really awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I've been testing that for a good few months
Yeah.
while they've been in the beta, but yeah, really pleased to see that out, and it's working well.
And how are you finding it?
Yeah, really good. It's so much easier. Like you again, it's one of those things you didn't realize you needed to have it in the scenario builder until you actually use it,
Yeah.
because being able to build the overall scenario and the agent all on one screen is like super helpful. You know, you can edit all the prompts, you can chat with it, and test the the tools and the prompts and things like that in the builder.
Mm.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Does it
But yeah.
save you time as well? Or
Yes, it would do. Yeah, it's saved me a lot of time. Yeah, because there's no chopping and changing back from screen to screen to edit the agent on one page and then edit the scenario on another page and then test it. You can just do it all within one page,
yeah,
and yeah, it makes life so much easier.
okay.
Yeah,
Would it be easier then as well, like for someone who's just starting to build out agents?
I think so. Yeah, because I guess you wouldn't know the old way if you're fresh into it as well. So I think it does make sense as well from like a new user perspective.
Yeah.
Having it all in one place. Just being able to build it and see it. There's like really cool animations so you can show which tool's been doing what and things like that.
Mm.
They've made it really easy to see like the data and the reasoning behind things as well. So
Okay.
yeah, it's really awesome.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, if anyone is using Make.com and you're now using the new agent, do let us know how you finding it, how you get on. Do you prefer it, or do you wish it was still separate? Let us know. We always love hearing from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so this week, what are we
Mm.
talking about?
So we're going to talk a bit about artificial general intelligence, or AGI for short. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with what is it? Let's start from the very beginning.
Yeah. So AGI is kind of where the industry's heading. So at the minute we can chat to a large language model, and get responses back. That's great. But it's not really fully learning about us over time. It kind of does in a way where it's like searching old conversations and things like that. But at the core meat of the model, it's not really, learning anything. So in the future with AI, you would chat to it, it would learn how you work and how you talk, and then, become better over time and do things better. So that's kind of where we're heading. So it's a bit sci-fi-ish. So it's a bit like I don't know, like the computer in Star Trek, or even, I mean, show my age, but you even got the robot in Short Circuit kind of thing, where he's learning things and interacting with things over time differently. So,
Yeah.
that's kind of where it's heading. And yeah, I did say we wouldn't reach it in 2026, didn't I? But
I think that was not on your 2026 prediction episode, just
yeah,
like what, maybe
8
7 weeks
weeks ago.
ago? Yeah.
Bit embarrassing. I said it won't happen, but
Oh, won't
yeah,
happen in 2026, 7 weeks later.
yeah.
I'm not surprised.
No, I mean it's nothing that the mainstream, companies have come out with. So it's nothing that Claude or OpenAI have come up with. But I've started seeing things on like YouTube and what have you, where it's like I'm building this and it's AGI, and I was like, okay. So yeah, I've started getting down into that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, do you want to tell us like what you've been doing with it, and then like maybe then like how others could replicate it, or how it's going to help people within their business.
Yeah. So I guess to go back to what I kind of saw on YouTube, there was a very popular AI YouTuber, and he was talking about creating AGI within his business. And I was like, oh, and he made a bold claim that he'd solved it. And I was like, that's that's a lofty claim to have solved AGI before the likes of, Anthropic and OpenAI and even Google. But I was like, okay. But, he kind of built like an operating system for his business. So he was still building it manually and like in building blocks and stuff like that. So I was like, well, that's not really AGI, really. And I asked Claude that, and he was like, no, I don't think that's really. It's useful, I don't doubt that, but it's not AGI. So I said to Claude,
What do you think it was then, if it wasn't AGI?
it was kind of like a really clever AI agent.
Okay.
So yeah, he's using Claude Code as like the main agent within the system, and then it can go off and do tasks and things like that. But it doesn't learn over time. It's still always going to be the same from day one to day 100. But if he wanted to update it, he would have to do that manually, which fine, fair enough. But that's not AGI really in the true definition of it. So yeah, I said to Claude, I was like, hey, well, this is my vision of what AGI is. How could we do that using today's technology? And it was like, well, sure, we can do that. So, which took me back a bit. I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, we created an app, and I called it Clyde. It's not Claude. And what Clyde is like a orchestration agent, and it self-learns, which is quite incredible, to be honest with you. I've been sat watching it thinking, I want it to learn, but I was like, I wasn't quite ready to see it, if you know what I mean.
I wish, if you're just listening to this, I wish you could see the big smile on Noel's face, like he's so pleased with himself.
Oh, like a proud father. Yeah. Oh, it's just incredible because although I was expecting it to do it, I didn't expect it to do it so well. And yeah, it's kind of built on the agent framework from Anthropic that kind of runs the engine in the background. But essentially, Clyde can go off and build his own teams. So I could say, I need to go off and create content for whatever. I need to create Substack posts. And then Clyde would then look at it and go, you know what, we could probably do with a content writer. And it will go off and basically hire a team member and create all of their, instructions. It will also create like Claude skills as well,
Yeah.
and then add them to that agent. So
Wow,
every time I ask, it goes off and does it, which is like
so
incredible.
yeah, so no manually having to create Claude
No,
skills.
no, definitely not. But what was really awesome is, it was kind of my mistake while I was doing it. But when I was testing out the skills, obviously you need like the creation skill. So, the agent knows how to build them. And I said to Clyde, I said, hey, there's a file in the working directory that we all have access to, the agents and me within the system. I said, look, could you add that to yourself? And Clyde looked at it and went, you know what? I don't actually have access to be able to do that. I can do it to sub-agents, but I can't add it to me. And I was like, oh, damn, that's my error. I forgot to allow that access. And I thought I could stop the conversation there, or I could continue watching it and see what he did next. And this is where it blew my mind, because he went off, he read the skill, and then was like, right, I understand what's going on. I can't add it, but what I'll do is I'll update my system instructions to include those instructions from that skill. So when I get asked to do it, I know how to do it. And I was like, wow, okay, that's pretty impressive. That's not what I wanted him to do.
Yeah.
Because that's taking up more tokens in the context window, or we're sending more information to the API when we don't really need to. But yeah, seeing that chain of thought, I think working out the problem and then go, yeah, I fixed it. I was like, that kind of took me a bit by surprise, even though I was half expecting it to do it. But yeah. Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Mm.
Yeah.
So how is AGI
Mm.
different to something like Clawbot or OpenClaw? What are they called this week?
So they're still called OpenClaw.
OpenClaw.
Yeah, so they do kind of half claim a bit of AGI because they do add in automations as well. So
Yeah.
they can schedule tasks, and I've added that into Clyde as well, so you can do that as well. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really, from what I understand, it doesn't really learn over time. You can edit all the files to make it learn over time, but I don't think that agent can do it itself.
Okay.
So I think what I've built, I haven't seen being done anywhere else just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, which is quite exciting, really. But
So you're going to put a YouTube video up of this?
so at the minute, I've got like a dev diary, which I'm putting out on Substack at the
Okay.
moment. So yeah, I've
And I'm
got like
guessing you're going to do more detailed diary in our membership AI business club
yeah,
for our paying members.
yeah, they'll be getting the videos, updates. Yeah, they were the first to hear about it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I only started building it yesterday, so yeah, we're 24 hours in, but yeah,
Yeah.
lots of progress made. This is awesome.
Okay. So we'll put
Mm.
those links below if people are
Yeah,
interested and want to find out more.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. So how do you envision this helping you with your business?
So I guess I kind of wanted it to, learn and build over time. So yes, you could do this in N8N, make.com, or manually. Yes, fair enough. You could add team members over time, but when you're busy, you just don't have time to do that. So being able to give Clyde like a task to do, and then have the agent figure it out for itself, and add team members, create skills, and then produce those consistent outputs over time. That's saving me an incredible amount of time. So yeah, I guess it's just going to keep building over time, and then yeah, I'm just going to see where we get to it, because at the minute I'm only just testing it out with a
Yeah,
few little bits. But yeah, I think I do want to we have a workflow within Claude for our podcast, so I want to get that into the agent and see how that plays out and what
yeah.
happens. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to work really well. Because
Okay.
we've got all the skills. We just need to arm the agents with those skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
I think over time, I want to be able to, have it creating documents or, reviewing things that come in and things like that. So, we can connect it to outside sources. So if you've got you could connect it to like a make.com scenario or something that you've already got up and running. That can all be done, and all you've got to do is ask Clyde to go off and do it, and he'll create scripts to do it and give it to the agent that's going to do that job. So, that's really, really quite clever. Without any coding effort, he's doing all of that in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So realistically, how easy is this to replicate if someone else wanted to do an AGI
So
for their business?
I would say you would have to be quite technical in order to do it. I wouldn't say as a beginner you could vibe code it. I mean, you definitely have a go. Obviously, vibe coding is quite easy these days compared to what it
Yeah.
used to be. But the way I built it was in such a structured manner. So with my experience in systems engineering, I built out some really detailed requirements to build against. So when I actually got to the point of the AI reading my requirements and building it, it actually worked first time. And we stripped it out into different phases and things like that. So it was developing it bit by bit. And then until we got to the end of phase 6 and it was all there working. Yeah, that was really amazing to see. But I mean, there were still some tweaks I still need to do. There were still some bits like the UI wasn't quite what I wanted, but that's easy to sort out.
Yeah. So is Clyde something that only you can use, or would other people be able to use it, or is it literally like one like a AI agent at a time?
So I've been thinking about this yesterday as I was building it out, and I was waiting for Claude Code to finish, which left me plenty of time to think about this. But
Is
the
this what
way
you
it
were doing when
works,
I was out at Pilates yesterday?
yes, yeah. Well, most of yesterday, to be fair,
Oh, right,
but
okay. I guess like,
yeah,
you
I
know,
did get it all done in 50 minutes. Crikey. Or an hour. But yeah, I guess the way it works currently is it installs on your laptop. So it's not like OpenClaw where you have to give it access to your entire system. Like I
yeah,
know as like, anyone who's security conscious and business owners, they don't want that happening. So
no,
where you install the code on your machine, there's like a working folder that gets built into that. And you can add files, add folders within there, and then work collaboratively with the agents within that space. So I guess, yeah, we would kind of look to deploy it in a way where, other people could download it. They could put in their API keys and then, go off and then start building their own teams and agents using Clyde. So that's kind of like the end goal. But yeah, I've got quite a few bits to to tweak and make ready. I don't want to be like open, or was it Claudebot when it first came out, and then everyone's like, this is a disaster.
yeah, yeah.
Or release it before it's ready, kind of thing. So
Mm.
I want to do it in a nice stage way. So I want it thoroughly tested
Yeah.
first.
But I think it's really cool that you're doing like a development diary as well, so people can follow along with it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to doing that. Actually, I quite
Yeah,
enjoyed doing day one. It
yeah,
was quite interesting to go back over and think, I actually achieved a hell of a lot yesterday.
yeah.
Being a non-coder myself, it was
Mm, yeah.
awesome to see.
Okay.
Mm.
And if you've got any questions for Noel about AGI, then you can either email us in, we'll put our email address in the show notes, or you can come and ask in our free LinkedIn group. Just start your post with podcast question, and we'll, if it's, something simple, we can answer it for you straight away. Or if it's a bit more lengthy, then, we can include it in one of our episodes for you.
Yeah.
Amazing. No, is there anything else that you feel like you want to share about AGI?
Oh, I think we've kind of covered AGI from a top level. I mean, we could go really nerdy and deep on it, but I don't think, let's not go that far. But I do want to highlight something interesting that was in the press and the news this week. And it is to do with OpenClaw, I'm afraid, but it kind of also highlights some risks with uncontrolled AI agents. And I could see, like, it did make me chuckle, but I could see the person that it affected, I could see they didn't see the funny side of it. And I do agree with them. But
Right.
yeah. But
You
essentially,
tell us.
yeah. So essentially, there's a human developer, and he owns or partially runs like an open source coding project. And basically, he was going through and filtering out all of like the AI agents that were, pushing changes to his open source project. And that developer was like, I don't want AI doing any of this. I just want to work with humans doing code. They could be beginners, they could be advanced, but he's like, they're learning and, contributing, like real people contributing. So somebody's OpenClaw agent went to this, open source project and went, well, I fixed all of this stuff, wow, look at all this amazing things that I've done, created like a really detailed report of what it had done. And this, human moderator developer looked at it and was like, well, that's just AI. So he rejected it on the basis that it was AI created. And he was like, I don't want it. Thanks, but no thanks. And then, cancelled that. But the AI agent must have been like looking in the emails or something. But anyway, it got notified that this developer had said, I don't want anything to do with this, go away. So this agent also has access to its own blog, which sounds silly in itself. So it wrote a hit piece about the developer on its blog, calling him out for, not being open for AI agents and how rude he was. It was like, what? So this developer spotted it. It was like, what on earth? It's like really, it's borderline slander. What was posted?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the owner of the agent didn't actually know what had happened. So that was all done without any user interaction from the owner of
Oh
the
God, that
agent.
is just something like you would cringe about and then cringe about, like lying awake in bed at night, like years and years later, just that judder, just going, oh my God, I can't believe that still happened.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I did find it funny to start with, but yeah, there was also then like another tech blog picked this up and then created their own AI generated article about it, which then falsely added quotes in from the human developer. So he was like, "What? Right? So this really popular tech blog is now slagging me off, as is this AI agent." He's like, "This needs to stop." He's like, "This is impacting me as a human being." But yeah, obviously the tech blog, they redacted it and apologized
Yeah,
for putting that out. But he was doing like an interview, and yeah, he was basically like, well, if anybody in like a recruitment in like HR went through his CV and then looked him up in like
yeah,
ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT or whatever found that article and went, well, you probably shouldn't trust this guy because, X, Y, and Z from this article, he's not to be trusted, he's not a very nice person. He'd be like, well, that's really damaging. And it's not true. Yeah. This thing was created by AI, but yeah.
oh my
Interesting.
goodness, like I'm almost speechless, like I'm in shock that that could actually happen and yeah, have
Yeah.
that impact on a person.
Yeah. 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 I think we've gotten to the stage where we've got people that use AI responsibly and irresponsibly, I think.
I
Or,
mean, I could have told you that a long time ago, like a year ago.
yeah.
Even like it goes back as well, doesn't it, to like the voice agents where people can call you
Mm,
up and pretend to be a human, but it's not, it's AI.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? And they're spamming you or trying to, you know, trick you into signing up for things, giving away money. Like that is
mm,
irresponsible
mm,
use of AI. Whereas, we have always been, telling people to use it responsibly,
mm, yeah.
from voice agents to, just be careful with things like open claw and how it's going to affect not only you but also your clients, and
Mm,
protecting your own data but also your clients' data.
yeah.
And yeah, it does worry me as well because it goes back to a bit like when there was a big like social media boom like 12, 14 years ago, and the people who were using social media, in an appropriate, authentic way were kind of doing okay, and then like kind of like the cowboys came in, and for some reason like they were really popular, and then they were teaching all of these horrendous things, and like
Mm,
yeah, and it still filters through sometimes 14 years later. So actually it is quite concerning
mm,
because people get on that hype train, don't they? This is how we're going to do it. Oh, and we're going to be able to do this, and it's going to save us loads of time, and oh, I'm going
mm.
to sack all of my team and stuff like that. And that to me is just, yeah, frightening.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah, because it's all about emboldening people in how to use it, isn't it? And use it properly. I think once team members and people within a business start using it properly and learn how to do it properly, like you'll become so much more efficient in the way you work.
Yeah. But actually, like sometimes certain jobs, like especially creative jobs, is not about being efficient. It's actually just producing the best possible work you can. And that does take time.
Yeah,
That cannot
exactly.
be
Yeah,
rushed.
yeah.
You know, like I'm thinking of, for example, like a copywriter. They've got so many incredible skills that actually, you know, uses such a big like mental process, you know, because it's so creative that that does take time. And actually, do you really want to rush that process and then end up with mediocre like copy that actually ChatGPT could spew out?
Yeah, you don't need that.
No, because it's so different, obviously, the results that you would get from, you know, a copywriter with, say, 10 years experience versus ChatGPT. So that was just an example like I had off the top of my head. Like, you know, there's this thing at the moment, again, with AI and automations, like we want to be trying to be as efficient as we possibly can, but actually we don't need to make our whole businesses as efficient as possible. We do want some of that creativity still in there, and that's why I've like stopped using any AI for my social media, my marketing. And I find actually that it's it's made me really enjoy it again, because there was a big period of time where I felt like it was a big effort. And now I've actually stopped using it. I'm actually enjoying writing again and coming up with posts and captions. And yeah, so I just feel like, you know, even though we have access to these tools and they are amazing, and obviously I think they're amazing because obviously we have an AI and automations business and an agency, but at the same time as well, like I feel like it can also go too far, and we do forget that creativity.
Yeah. We can't forget that.
No.
Definitely not. No. That's experience, isn't it? That's, you know, you've got to use that. And I mean, people enjoy, like you say, they enjoy doing that part of the job.
Yeah.
That's let them go off and be creative and enjoy that piece of work. You know, if somebody enjoys, you know, analyzing spreadsheets, yeah, let them analyze spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Don't let AI do it for them.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
do know people who absolutely love spreadsheets, and they'll create a
Yeah.
spreadsheet for everything, not only
Yeah.
in their business, but actually in their personal lives as well. I mean, to me, I couldn't think of anything worse, but to someone else, like that is their absolute joy. They're
Yeah.
just like someone else, like they cannot stand writing social media posts and things like that. Whereas
That's me.
actually, I actually quite enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. So I just think it's, yeah, if you enjoy it, do you really need to automate it or ask AI to do it? Or could you just actually have that aspect of your business that you do enjoy?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, well, after that little rant, I think we should leave it there.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Like I said, if you've got any questions for Noel about AGI, then yes, do email us, leave a comment in our free LinkedIn group. But all the links to everything we've mentioned in today's episode, including Noel's development diary, we will leave below for you. But thank you so much for listening. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you for another episode very soon.